Welcome everyone, join us today as we pay tribute to Pete Shelley, the voice of the Buzzcocks, who helped shape the UK punk scene with his sharp lyrics, raw energy and timeless anthems. So let's dive in. Pete Shelley, born Peter Campbell McNeish on the 17th of April 1955 in Lee, Greater Manchester, in England. He was zodiac sign Aries. Born to Margaret and John McNeish at 48 Milton Street in Lee, Pete grew up in a working-class household. His mother, a former mill worker, and his father, a fitter at Astley Green Colliery. He had a younger brother, Gary. His interest in music began at 14 when he first picked up a guitar during a rainy school holiday. Around the same time, he started collecting second-hand Beatles records and learning to play along using instructional books. By 16, while still at Lee Grammar School, he had begun writing songs. Later, while studying for an HND in electronics at Bolton Institute of Technology, he purchased a Tandberg 4-track reel-to-reel tape recorder and started recording his own compositions. Pete formed a group called Jets of Air, a name inspired by a college lecture on Newtonian physics. Though the band played only a handful of gigs over 3 years, it allowed him to build a collection of original songs. He later explored electronic music with a project called Sky, which resulted in the album Sky Yen, eventually released later in 1980 on his own label, Groovy Records. Another experimental venture, Smash, focused on heavier, more rhythmic sounds and contributed material that would later shape Buzzcocks music. Buzzcocks took form after Pete came across a college notice board advertisement by Howard Devoto, real name Howard Trafford, who was looking to start a band influenced by the Stooges and the Velvet Underground. Their debut was initially planned for the Sex Pistols' first Manchester concert in June 1976, but lineup issues delayed their first performance until the following month. By then, Pete and Devoto were joined by drummer John Marr and bassist Steve Diggle. Recorded with £500 borrowed from Pete's father and released through their own New Hormones imprint, the band's legendary debut, January 1977's Spiral Scratch EP, was UK punk's first self-released record. Following the release, Devoto left to form Magazine, prompting Pete to step into the role of lead vocalist, with Diggle switching to guitar. The band's bass position saw a brief return of Garth Smith before Steve Garvey eventually took over. Buzzcocks made their live debut opening for the Sex Pistols' second Manchester concert on the 20th of July 1976 at the same venue. The band later signed with United Artists Records at Electric Circus Manchester, on the 16th of August 1977, the day Elvis Presley passed away. Under United Artists, the Manchester-based quartet released a string of influential UK top 40 hits, including What Do I Get, Everybody's Happy Nowadays, Promises, and Ever Fallen in Love, with Someone You Shouldn't Have, all later compiled on the widely praised 1979 album Singles Going Steady. Their music blended fast-paced punk energy with Pete's sharp pop instincts, a style showcased across their first 3 United Artists albums. Another Music in a Different Kitchen in 1978, Love Bites in 1978, and A Different Kind of Tension in 1979. All 3 charted in the UK Top 30 and remain landmark punk records. However, tensions with their label and a dispute with Virgin Publishing over the UK release of Singles Going Steady ultimately led to the band's breakup in 1981. In 1981, Pete embarked on a solo career with the single Homo Sapien, from the album of the same name, produced by Buzzcocks producer Martin Rushent, who was also working on the Human League's Dare. Revisiting his early interest in electronic music, Pete's shift in sound sparked controversy when the BBC banned Homo Sapien due to its perceived lyrical content. Despite this, the track reached number 14 on the US dance chart. During this period, Pete spoke openly about his bisexuality, a theme that had been subtly present in many of his songs. His second solo album, XL1, followed in 1983 and included the minor hit Telephone Operator. In 1987, he contributed Do Anything to the soundtrack of the John Hughes film Some Kind of Wonderful. Pete composed the theme music for Channel 4's Tour de France coverage, which aired from the late 1980s to the mid-1990s. In 1989, he recorded Homo Sapien 2, a new version of his earlier track, releasing it as a single with 4 different mixes. That same year, Buzzcocks reunited, embarked on a US tour, and later released a series of albums, beginning with Trade Test Transmissions in 1993, and concluding with The Way in 2014. In 2002, Pete and Devoto reunited to record the album Buzzcocks. Their collaboration blended their distinct creative approaches, resulting in a unique musical project. In 2005, following the passing of DJ John Peel, Pete participated in a tribute recording of Ever Fallen in Love, featuring a lineup of renowned artists, including Elton John, Robert Plant, David Gilmour, and Roger Daltrey. Personally, Pete married Miniko in 1991, and they welcomed their son Alex in 1993 before divorcing in 2002. In 2012, he relocated to Tallinn, Estonia, after marrying Greta, an Estonian, seeking a quieter lifestyle after nearly 3 decades in London. Tragically, on the morning of December 6, 2018, Pete passed away in Tallinn from a suspected heart attack. His brother Gary later shared the news of his passing on Facebook. And there you have it. Though Pete Shelley has left us, his music remains as urgent and electrifying as ever. His songs of love, loss, and longing continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans alike. His legacy lives on, not just in records, but in the spirit of punk itself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.